Hello, and welcome to The Fool and the Philosopher.
The Philosopher and the Fool.
So, you know coffee, right?
Yep.
I've thought in life a few times that I'm missing out. I should stay up late, get up early, and drink lots of coffee instead. And, I don't know, there's a few other things, like, play more video games and, like, eat more junk food. I'm trying to think of positive ones as well. Just these are opportunities I've not taken for whatever reason, basically.
Yeah.
And I've thought it unfair at times that other people can, like, play Terraria, for example.
Yeah.
Like, one of our first episodes, we talked about how the auto-click is, like, was considered overpowered. Yeah. Whereas, for me, it's just a feature of not causing pain when I played the game. Mm-hmm. And so I've wished I was like those people and that could just play. And the lifestyle of drinking the coffee and, I don't know, jumping from opportunity to opportunity. I could, you know, be on Fiverr right now selling spells, that sort of thing. I haven't done those for these, like, moral things that get in the way. A lot of these. Or, not just moral, but, like, well, that's not right. I don't know what you call that. But, like, a proper way of being sort of thing. Like,
not Quidditch or cribbage.
Well, it's just, it doesn't seem right. Like, that doesn't seem healthy, or it's not, like,
It's not the way.
Yeah.
It's not the Tao.
But, I don't know, I feel like I've missed out a lot. And 2 days ago I was walking, and I realized that I have missed out on a lot of opportunities and a lot of things I could have done. But I've also gained a lot. And, like, I have...
Oh, good. You have, like, a positive. Like, it's like, I missed out a lot. And it sucked. And then you have, like, nothing positive. I'm worried that's where you're going.
Yeah. I wasted my life. So what's your topic? Yeah, so, I don't know, I have, like, amazing friends.
Yeah. And
I feel very blessed by them, I think, and I'm very grateful for them. I won't get into that. Not this time.
What's that meant to mean?
I can talk about it when I'm done my thought, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, they're good people, they help me out, and, I don't know, you reap what you sow, and I have reaped great friends. And it has cost me many opportunities, but it's also, like, I don't... like when it comes to a lot of the times, I see these, I'll see YouTubers that are doing really well or something.
Yeah. Like,
let's say, Alpharad or, I don't know, Philip DeFranco or something.
Yeah.
And I'll see these people and I'll think, like, man, like, if I had started early, if I had done the right choices, I could be like them right now, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't compare yourself to others, but I do, so there it is. But, I don't know, Alpharad, a lot of the times, he seems, I want to say, immature. Like, not in a, like, he's like a child. It's like, there's these ideas that he has less, he's thought about less. And he just, like, charges into them without realizing the consequences, perhaps. Which is, I don't know, we all learn different things at different rates. He probably knows way more than me about music and editing. And, I mean, he definitely does.
Yeah.
And so, but it's, you reap what you sow. He put time into music and editing, and I put time into, I don't know, realizing that if you say something, people will think you mean it.
Mm.
And, like, he likes to joke about irony a lot, but he likes being ironic, but he also doesn't like it when people take his irony as fact, and he thinks people should be able to differentiate themselves. And I don't know what kind of harassment he's been getting, because he claimed he was getting harassed. But there's definitely, I don't think people should be harassing him, but I wonder what is harassment and what isn't. Like, kind of like my bullying thing. What is actually bullying and what isn't? Like, is he being harassed, or are people doing what he told them to do, and he doesn't like it because he didn't actually mean it? And I don't think, like, it sounds like people are going after his friends and stuff and, like, annoying them. I mean, harassment is just like, hey. Hey. But I think he literally said, harass me on, like, these sort of things. So, like, I don't know. You reap what you sow in a way. I can't make those jokes, but I don't have to deal with the fallout of them.
Yeah.
That's sort of where it comes to. But, like, with the comparing yourself with other people, it's not like, ooh, I'm ahead and he's behind or something because I made the right choices. I don't think it's like that. Yeah. I think it's more like, it's like there's a great big there's a great big chain of people all holding hands.
Yeah.
And the faster forward you run, the more you pull those people beside you, and the faster they run, the more they pull you, and you're all helping each other. And when you're tired, they carry you, and when you're not tired, you carry them. And so you're not comparing yourself to others, you're just seeing how fast you can run.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Because there's always, like, you can always look at a different trait in people as well, so.
Yeah.
But then there's, like, Philip DeFranco, why I mentioned him, was he took last week off from, like, due to depression or something, and it's like, I probably won't have to do that. I feel like I wasted 5 years of my life, sort of, like the last, I don't know, 5 years sort of thing, or whatever, -2. So, like, 7 years, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years, 2 years ago. And, I feel like I'm far behind. Like, there's these people getting married, there's these people with jobs that is, like, Alfred's same age as me.
Yeah.
And he's married and has, like, a full-time job, and he's got this career. And, like, Philip DeFranco, married a long time ago as a kid, has this job he's been doing for, I don't know, probably close to a decade right now. But I'm not going to have those weeks off in the future. So it's like, it's not like I'm better than him. It's like, I reap what I sowed, sort of like. And maybe his is a lot harder to deal with as well. It's just like, I've lost opportunities, but I've gained opportunities. So I think, I don't know. It was like a positive thought in the end. It was like a way to actually look positive. Like, I normally don't look at the positives on there. It's like, oh man, look at me. I'm 25 or 24. I'm 24, yeah. I'm 24 and I don't have a job and I'm like living at home with my parents sort of thing. And, oh, this is awful. But on the other hand, it's like, I won't have to deal with this stuff down the road. And
You got some foundations?
Yeah, and I'm thankful. A lot of people don't get the chance to build those foundations.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful I did. And it might have been a lot easier for me then. And that's why you can't compare as well, because opportunity is such a huge thing that the only thing you can compare yourself to is to where you yourself could have been. I guess that's what I normally do, is I compare where I could have been. So when I say Alpharad is like this, or Philip DeFranco, it's more like I could have been them, like very easily. Like I could have done with, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could have taken a different series of paths.
Yeah.
And I could be like them. And so I'm comparing myself to me as them, not them themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I wish I had gone that route. Then I would have had my life on the way right now. But then the diet at like 24 catching up with me and my mental state. And maybe I could have run ahead of it forever. But I don't know, probably would have eventually gotten Alzheimer's or something. Or some health problem from like repeatedly doing something that was having some...
Yeah.
I could have just kept going on though. Like at UVic, I had the choice to just be like, well, I guess I'll just push on. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't know if I actually could have or not, but I had that. But it just and it's like, oh man, I should have done that, because then I could have just fake it until I make it. But you reap what you sow. Like I got good friends, and I've got a pretty solid foundation that there's a lot of things that hit, like, arms are guppered right now. It's been like 6 weeks or 7 weeks. I don't know how long at this point. Throat's going a bit from trying to make the voice thing work so I don't have to use my arms. And there's just all sorts of, and like I was pretty down about my arms for a little while. Mm-hmm. Especially the first day. But after the first day, it was like, the first day it was like, okay, I'll take a little break. And then like 4 weeks later, I was like, oh man. And then my arms seemed to get worse or something. They started going numb. And I was like, great, well, that's the end of me. Like, send me to the glue factory. I'm done. But the day after that, it was like, I don't know. There's a lot more than just making my arms work. And like, there's the voice options, and there's just taking everything slower and doing things different. And it's like, okay. At that point, I was like, you know what? It's about changing my life now. How do I live with my hands like this, basically? It doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. It's just like, the mindset is no longer, poor me, I hope this ends. It's, all right, what are the steps towards... And I think a lot of like self-help and whatnot, they say like that bit, like,
adapt and overcome.
Yeah, but I think what the part they're missing is, at least in my experience, you almost always have like a couple months of pity or years, or like, because it's such a deep pit that you can't get out of it. Like, you have to have a really good day so that everything's aligned, so that you can set up your life so that the next really good day will be slightly better and actually allow you to start fixing your problem. So I think like you need to be really gentle on yourself. Like, give allowance for like you're gonna have like a bad month of like wallowing in pity. And
in the 12 Rules for Life, this new self-help book, I guess, he said that every single person within their family has at least 3 major health things going on. like your friend is sick or your parents are sick or you're sick.
Yeah.
And life is hard and that's a part of it. And so it's like, be easy on yourself because like your life's really hard.
And let yourself have like the bad days and the bad weeks and the bad months. And I don't mean like wallow in your pity. I just mean like, look, you can't fix yourself today because today's too hard. But when you have a day where you're feeling good, now you know what to do. It's not like you have to push yourself. It's just when people give you advice, it's now you know what to do. It's not do it. It's now you know what to do. If you ever are in a situation where you want to use it, you have it.
Yeah.
But don't try to use it, I don't think. Like, I think that's just like, you can schedule every little minutia of your life, and that might work for some people, but I think for most it's just exhausting and unsustainable.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, when my arms, like, started going numb, I had that story where I was like, they were in so much pain, I was just like, I need some hot water to relieve this or something, so I was like drawing up the bath, and then I was like, I just drowned myself in there, and then I was like, I'll go in the bath and see how I feel after a while. Just like, I'll take a bath, maybe just finish it, maybe drown myself. We'll get just one step at a time.
Yeah.
It's like, there we go. And I don't know. That type of humor probably isn't healthy for most people.
No.
But I'm, I don't know. As long as I'm able to complain, I'm happy. I think I should be fine. But actually what it is as long as I have hope. And I didn't have hope. I lost all hope then because I was asking people that had experienced the same thing as me before. And they said, no, it never gets better. And your whole life you'll have to be... It's like, you should really do these exercises. And it's like, but there's no point in doing the exercises. What I need is hope. Just tell me it gets better.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me that constant agony where I can't think, where tears are pouring down my face like constantly, and it doesn't get better, then what's the point?
Yeah.
And, I think that's with chronic pain, why these people choose assisted suicide. Like, it's like, there's no hope. What's the point? And I think there often is hope, but it's hard to see it. And especially when people aren't giving it to you. Like, I mean, they can't give it. But just like, you're asking people that know better than you're like, I guess it's like, if you ask a doctor, like, my back pain is like unlivable. When does it get better? Is there surgery? And the doctor's like, I'm sorry, no. And then you're like, well, then there's no point on living, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I can get that, I think. Like, I don't know. I used to think that it was, like, assisted suicide was... I don't know. I think anyone that wants to kill themselves... Like, I think you should allow anyone who wants to kill themselves who's in a good state of mind to do so. However, I don't think anyone that wants to kill themselves is in a good state of mind, so it's
yeah.
Like, what was Epicurus? Was that his name? He said that, if a room's smoky, I leave.
Yeah.
So, someone like him sounds like maybe he's, like, sane enough to choose suicide or something, but I don't know. So yeah, when someone's in chronic pain, I think, go easy on them, too. And don't judge them for their pain, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, I mean, I was saying about, it's like, when your arms were, like, really bad, I was, like, trying to think of everything that could minutely help you, even if it's, like, just random advice he called the witch doctory. I was, like, trying to think of everything I could.
Yeah. But it's like...
Feel like a dog in distress, and, like, something's wrong, your dog doesn't know what it is, so it's just, like, brings you a ball and puts it down and lays its head on your lap, and then, like, oh, do you want to, like, take me out for a walk instead? Maybe that'll make you feel better, and the dog's just, like, trying to figure it out. It's like...
Because I think I tend to find the solutions on my own. What I need is something to sustain me.
Yeah.
Like, solutions, like, people's suggestions do help, but, like, yeah, it's definitely... I think, like, a lot of stuff you have to figure out on your own as well, because you don't trust other people. They don't understand your pain. Even a doctor, like, doesn't really understand your pain, because they're not you.
Yeah.
And so you're the only one that can really know that it's not hurting anymore or better or whatever works. So ideas will help you find a solution, but to keep trying and to be looking for them, I think that's more on you. And what you need instead is just hope. Or you need a reason to keep looking for solutions. So toilet paper usage, right?
Yeah.
Probably a bit more topical now than it has been before. But some people use a lot, some people use a little. And the people that use a lot, it's like, well, what are you doing? Why are you burning through all that toilet paper? Like, this is not a infinite resource, and also, like, not great for the environment, that sort of thing. And so, you might look down on people that use more than you. Like, you're clogging the toilet or you're doing this or something. I am the superior 2 panel. Well, I am a 1 panel. Well, I just scrape with my fingernail and wash my hand. I am the greatest life form. But I read once, someone said, if someone's using more toilet paper than you, don't judge them, pity them. And I think, like, or be thankful that you use less. Like, you don't want to be in the situation where you have to use an entire roll every time you go. Like, be thankful you're not that person. So I think with pain, like, if someone's in pain, they're in pain. And don't judge them, just be thankful that you have a solution. And maybe be thankful you can give them hope.
Yeah.
If you can. But at the very least, like, yeah, don't dismiss their pain. Like, I think all pain is equal. Like someone is, like, just depressed and they're, like, a millionaire. I think that's equal to, like, someone's depressed because, like, all their family was killed by the mafia and they're coming after them next. Like, I don't think our brains are that fine-tuned instruments to be able to crank past max. Like, I think we hit max very easily.
You can't just go, oh, yes, this person feels 10 depression, while this person feels 20. So the person with 20...
Like, I think the millionaire, it's not like their brain's like, well, you're feeling, like, horribly sad for whatever reason, who knows. But since you're a millionaire, I'm only going to crank it to half.
Yeah. Like,
the millionaire might have more moments of happiness, but they might not. Like, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't, yeah. But
that's a fair idea, yeah.
And with, like...
And that's why I scream in agony even when, like, the lightest feather falls on me.
Well, like, with chronic pain, right? Like, you've had eczema your whole life, and so you're saying, like, oh, you got back pain, you baby? Sort of.
I wasn't saying that. I don't understand how someone... I wasn't saying I don't understand that. It's more like, I have been to, like, really bad pain, and so I think I know how to, like, live with it. And people who are, like, in pain, it's like, oh, I can't live anymore. And it's like, what's the point? It's like, it does get... You just have to keep on living. It's not like, oh, you're a baby or whatever. It's... You have to keep living. Like...
But why?
Because there's nothing else to do.
Well, I mean, you can stop living.
Yeah, but that's a gamble. Whereas...
That's not a gamble. It's guaranteed end of pain.
Yeah, but I mean...
It's more
well, is it? Is it a guarantee? Like, if you go by the Bible, committing suicide is infinite torture.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I'm saying, like...
I think the gamble is continuing to live. And here's the thing, though. It's like entering the lottery, I guess. Like, taking the gamble to continue living. Like, you're probably going to lose. Like, you're probably not going to find a cure for your pain. You're probably going to have... The rest of your life is going to be miserable. Either from pain or depression or whatever. But, you know, it's like a free lottery ticket because the giving up and losing are the same. Like, eventually you'll die anyways. So.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, it's... You might as well play the game.
Yeah. And I think I agree, but I also understand why you wouldn't want to, because, you know, it just keeps hurting. But, like, when I play Risk, for example... Or, no, not when I play Risk, but like the sort of optimal way to play games, any game, is to play to win.
Yeah.
If you want to win. I mean, the optimal way is to have fun, really, but the optimal way to play to win is to play to win. So you should take the option that gives you a chance of victory, no matter how unlikely, rather than the option that has no chance of victory, even if it's more sensible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my personal philosophy, but I don't think there is a correct philosophy on that for life. Like, take the chance that you will get better, but, because the other options, like, I don't know, like, the other option is, just giving up and losing, and taking the more sensible option, stopping the pain, I guess. And the pain will probably stop even if you take the bet, so you won't succeed, you'll just be in pain your whole life and it'll end. But... if you want to win, then you have to take the slim chance at victory.
Yeah.
But you don't have to, you know, you can just keep taking the sensible path instead. I don't know. So yeah, what I was talking about before was how I was grateful for my friends and blessed by them.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like a little pendantry thing on my part where you'll often hear those words in conjunction with humbled. Where you're humbled by your opportunities or something. But
You're not humble?
Oh, just to be humble. It's to be made, like, where you don't, like, talk about yourself and your achievements constantly, right?
Yeah.
Or something. Where to become humbled is where you realize that you are a lot smaller than you thought, or that there is more than just your experience.
Mm.
And
but you're Bayford Veilrock's baby?
No, it's that it isn't humbling.
Mm.
There are things that are humbling, but having good friends isn't one of them. Or they'll be like, I'm humbled that, like on YouTube, you'll see a lot like, I made it to 1 million subscribers and I'm humbled by it. And I mean, maybe, but it'd be a bit weird. You think if anything it'd be the opposite.
Yeah.
1 million people like me.
Yeah.
But maybe you hit 1 million and you're like, wow, all these people touched me rather than me touching them, sort of thing. Like, I don't know. I think, and that's why I wanted to skip over it for there, because I tend to be a bit like pedantic about certain things, but I'm often wrong, because sometimes people are doing things the right way and I just don't give them the benefit of the doubt, or I don't realize it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also think
I had the thought out when I was walking, to counter your thought. Well, not counter your thought, but I mean to say, like, I also have thoughts when I go walking, which is on storytelling and how to tell a good story. As I don't know, like, growing up, you like hear someone tell a good story, and then you want to tell that story too. Like the story that the person told, you want to tell that story, and you try to tell it, and you scupper the thing horribly, or you hear a really funny joke, and so you try to tell that joke, and you do a really poor job of telling that joke. And you're like, oh, but it was really funny when this person told it. And I think that the problem is that you're trying to tell their story. I don't mean like you can't say the same thing they said, but you're trying to tell it like they would tell it. So, or you're trying to tell the joke word for word, and you can't remember the joke word for word. And so it's almost like to tell a good story, you have to like make it your own, or tell it your way. It's like, oh, it went something like this. I can't remember that bit though. It's really funny though. I mean, that's awful, but like even if you can slightly tell it like the other person, you're not them.
All right, let me tell you a story. So a couple years back, I was house sitting at our neighbors.
Yeah.
And so I sleeping there, brushing my teeth there, cooking there, everything there. And I had to use the shower. So, go down to their shower, and as you know, I wear glasses.
Yeah.
So I took off my glasses and put them in the shower. I put them to the side of the shower. Now, their shower has there's a bunch of different kinds of shampoo in their shower, and one of them was labeled like fragrant goddess shampoo, smell like a goddess or something. Mm-hmm. So I go into the shower, I take my glasses off, put them on the side.
Yeah. Water's
pouring down on my head. I'm like, okay, now I just need to grab my shampoo, put it on my head, and so I grab, I reach out, can't really see, reach out, grab a bottle, get the foam, put it on my head. Long story short, I ended up smelling like a fragrant goddess.
Mm.
So, it's been a while since I told that story, so I don't have my exact order. But key to storytelling there, in general, I think, is
setup.
The setup. You have a setup, and the other thing you do is you give the conclusion before the end, so that the listener jumps ahead of you and figures it out by themselves. Therefore, they're engaged. So they're like, oh, can't see properly. Oh, there's one of the bottles is a bit weird. Oh, I wonder he's going to grab the weird bottle, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think like there's actually this section in Models on how to tell a story, and that's taken from it to it. But it was so long ago that I don't really remember the story itself, let alone how to tell it properly. But so I think there is a way to tell stories. But yeah, you can't tell that story to someone else, because you can't be like, so here I was, about to take a shower.
Yeah.
You have to tweak it somewhat.
Yeah, you have to change it, and you have to...
Yeah.
Well, it's like, so the joke of, we had lunch together, that one joke, where you can, like, tell it a certain way. Like, you can try to tell it from memory. And I just don't even bother. Like, every single time I make up the guy's name, because I can never remember, like, El Bandito. Like, I'll call him El Bandito.
Yeah.
But that's not his actual name, but you just need, like, a slightly funny-ish sounding name, or a name that sounds a bit villainous, and then you can just tell a story. Like, you don't need every exact bit and detail. Like, don't let them get in the way. Don't let the facts... When we were both kids, right?
Yeah.
We would do this thing. It's part of the reason why there's a hole cut through my wall and going into your room.
Yeah.
This is part of the reason, which is when we both go to bed, I believe you would basically initiate by saying, like, I love you.
Yeah.
And I'd say, I love you too.
Yeah.
And then you would say, I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I would say, I will see you tomorrow too.
Yeah.
So that damaged me, I think, like as a kid, in the fact that if like one of us like forgot to say it, I was scared we wouldn't see each other. I thought like one of us gets struck dead because we didn't say that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll see you tomorrow. And you went on a trip at one point for like school, and I was like in the house by myself. Well, not by myself, but you weren't there. And I would go through and say that thing even though you weren't there because I had like a chronic fear.
I used to as well when you weren't there.
Yeah.
I'd go through and say it, actually. So
yeah.
So we were probably both saying it still.
Yeah, well, stupid. It's not... I don't know if it's stupid, it's just...
Well, it's very common. It's, like, OCD behavior is very similar to that, where you think you have to do an action or the world will end or something.
Yeah,
or your parents will die or they'll be in a car crash or...
It's like, man, like, I had so many fears as a kid.
Like, if you don't tap the tap 3 times, then, like, your cat will die because it'll choke on something.
Well, like, that is, like, one... Not the cat dying, but just, like, one of the things, like, saying, I love you too, whatever. Another fear I had was going up the stairs in the dark, that for some reason in our parents' bedroom there was a mummy. And it's like, would reach out and grab me. And so I'd like skirt past that as quickly as I could because it's a darkened doorway. I prefer it when the door was closed. Because if the door was open, then something in the dark kind of get me. And when I was lying in bed, I would like to lean up against the wall because to be as close to you as possible. But then my thought was, what if Cameron turned into a zombie and reached through the hole to grab me? I have to be a distance away from it because, like, he could come get me. And then...
Well, so there's a few things there. First of all, the mummy thing on the doorway.
Yeah.
I had the same thought about the doorway, I'm remembering. Which either means, for some reason, us being brothers, we have, like, similar genes that somehow could turn a dark doorway into a mummy.
Yeah.
Or we talked about it once or something and it, like, stuck in both of our heads. Or, number 3... There was a mummy.
Well, there was a mummy. It was our mummy.
And the second one, with the hole in the wall, I don't know if you ever knew this, but I used to sometimes sleep with my feet on my pillow and my head at the other end of my bed in case you put a gun through the thing and tried to shoot me in the head. So...
Where would I get a gun?
Where would I turn into a zombie?
Oh, no.
But, yeah, I think like the one with, like, see you tomorrow too thing. It's like a ritual, and and it becomes a ritual, and you're afraid, what happens when I stop?
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes bad things do happen. Like, the Aztecs stopped sacrificing people, and now we have global warming.
Yeah.
So sometimes the ritual was important. And there's also situations like, I don't know, like, you think, did I leave the stove on? That's actually a useful one. And I think it's a very similar mechanism of, like, this action leads to something bad, therefore, or this action causes something good, turning off the stove or saying goodnight. Therefore, if I don't do it, a bad thing happens. Because it's if I'm doing a good or neutral thing by doing this, if I don't do it, then I'm not preventing the thing.
Well, or like when I was at our dad's house, like it creak all the, you know how that thing creaks.
Yeah.
And that spooked me. And so I was like, okay, I want to be outside this house so I can't hear the creaking, because like whatever is like creeping about inside the house and creaking, if I leave the house, then I can run away from it. I can see it coming. Mm-hmm. And so I'd like try to leave, but then our like stairwell to lead outside has a giant pit to the chasming maw of the basement. It's dark down there. And so I'd quickly like turn on all the lights, then I'd grab my shoes and run outside onto the deck, put my shoes on the deck, run back inside, turn off the lights, then run back outside. And like that, and then I'd like wait for someone to come home, so I was by myself. And I'd sometimes be out there for like hours because I'd be spooked.
Yeah. Well, it's funny the things that can like the little superstitions that can occur.
Well, you can sort of see where like the snail riders and like the headless men and like the more scary things like the like
all the weird medieval things.
Yeah, like or like Wendigos or the hair demon. Like someone has a thought. Like us both saying there's like a mummy in the bedroom. Like 3 people in a village, right? They go by a well.
Yeah. And
the well's bottom's dark and they're spooked. Then they're all in the bar and it's like, man, that's a spooky well. Yeah, no, it's really spooky. Yeah, well, it's scary, and they're all saying this. And then someone else might, like, know how memories just appear in their head, right? Someone else just, like, memory appears in their head. It's like, I heard a girl drowned in that well. Or maybe they're a bit of a troublemaker, too. Like, it could be either or. I doubt that as much, but it's like, someone's like, yeah, that well seems a little cursed, don't it? And then it's like, people talk about that well, and then, like, those people, like, have kids, and they grow up, and then their kid's like, man, that well's spooky. And it's like, yeah, I know, I was scared when I was a kid, too. And the kid's like, my parents were scared of that well? My parents are, like, the bravest people I know, and they're scared of that well. What's wrong with it? And then over time, that well's haunted.
Yeah.
And it could just be because, like, it's in the shade of a tree, or something, or...
Yeah. Or it's like I don't know, sometimes these things happen. Like the ghost dog, I think I've talked about before. Yeah. Where just enough people see an event that they're like, something off about this place.
Yeah.
Something off. So on a bit of a... You have more on that, actually, or...?
Well, about that one thing, the Mythbusters did something on that. They actually wanted to study, like, this is almost like haunting. They wanted to study it. And so, they told groups of, like, different people, like, there's 3 different cabins, and so they had a bunch of different controls that they did for the cabins, and in one of these cabins, someone was murdered. And they basically, like, asked people to go into these cabins and, like, say how they felt. And so they would tell people, like, nothing went on, so they could have a control group, and they go into every cabin, and they see how they felt, like, how much anxiety they felt. And it's about a random spread for the control group, like, it's what you expect, almost. Like, if nothing happened in the houses. Then when they told people, like, a murder had happened in one, if it hadn't, and it hadn't happened in the other 2, the people would be have more anxiety when they're in the buildings that they were told had the murder happen in it. And basically they're trying to figure out if these things are haunted or not, or it's just people being told it's haunted then makes people more anxious.
So I think they are haunted.
They're haunted by memories?
Yeah, so just... I think I talked about this before, how... abstract notions such as fear and love and joy, they're kind of weird. Like, they're not something that occurs without a very complex abstract language. And so before people had words for fear, they thought it was something that came from outside. That's why there's gods of fear. Yeah. And that's why there's demons. It's like, I'm not afraid of a bush, but the bush rustled, so... There was a demon that like attacked me, or it influenced my mind, or there's a demon in that bush. Yeah. Because I didn't see anything, and yet the bush scared me. So therefore there's a demon. So that's the first thing, is that way back when, before we had words for fear, we just attributed it to an outside force. Yeah. I think we still do, just less so. We still see demons, basically. Now the second part of it is, if you're in a building where like 20 people have died in a fire, like over the 20 separate fires, 20 people have died. Yeah. You should be on edge. Yeah. There's something wrong with this building. Mm-hmm. So if you're in a building where someone got murdered, this is a building that a murderers come into. Yeah. And this is a building where you can't defend yourself from them. They can like get in through the window or something, and like your fortress is pregnantable, which means you shouldn't be in there. So I think there is a good reason for you to be afraid, but since you're in an empty building, the demon is causing you fear. Yeah. And so the building is haunted. That's my thought.
That's like a very fair sense. Like what there's which palace is it in England, or is it like the Tower place, like that one place that's meant to be full of ghosts? I don't know. Anyways, I had the thought, like, it's a weird theory, but it's like ghosts are memories, which that makes more sense than what I'm about to say, but like, what if an event was so traumatic, right? Or not even so traumatic, but like an event, because like, I don't know, time, like we experience it linearly. Who knows if that's the way it exists or not, but like, what if ghosts are the past? Like it's even not like a spooky event, but like you hear like a burp, 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 like you're walking in the woods, and it's like the haunted woods. What if it's just like, every once in a while, like that voice travels through time, or like the appearance of someone travels through time?
Or what if, right? See, imagine space is one axis and time is another axis, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when you have them lined up, let's say you're going around the Earth. Yeah. So I'm at latitude like 45 and you're at latitude 45 in the south. Yeah. We're walking in parallel to each other. Yeah. So our time and space, every time we hop up and down, we move in space. And every time we walk forward around the Earth, we move in time. We're perfectly in sync, moving at the constant rate around in time.
Yeah.
But let's say your path is tilted, so you're not walking on a latitude. You're walking just like kind of at an angle. So now, when you hop up and down, we're still in the same space, but your time crosses mine and like goes out of sync. So like we would never meet if we were parallel. But what if people's times aren't actually parallel? What if they go through time at different angles? Then you could actually have like a different present intersect suddenly.
Yeah.
Or you could have like a past intersect as it loops back around, or you could have, because it's moving at a different speed. Or
well, that's like Ghost is like a glitch almost in the.
Because if you're like walking forward through time at the North Pole, you're moving in a very quick circle, so you're going through time super fast.
Yeah.
Or someone at the equator is going through time super slow. Now, I don't actually think that's what ghosts are.
No, but that's my favorite theory on supernatural ghosts.
I don't actually think. I think ghosts are real, but I think ghosts exist in our minds, not in the world.
Yeah.
And not in a supernatural way, but in a we are incomplete.
We create them.
Yeah. And we project them.
There's actually manga where that's a thing where there's these exorcists, and they're exorcists because they're just both powerful psychics who can like read other people's minds, and so they get rid of ghosts by like convincing people that they've killed the ghost because other people are just generating ghosts. And it's like, oh, this person's like really powerful mind. They made a quite strong ghost, which is making their life miserable. So we have to go and kill it.
I think like yeah, ghosts are real, but if everyone vanished, there would be no more ghosts. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like I mean, that's probably what exorcists did, really.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, well, I'll make you feel better about your house.
Yeah.
There you go.
Most likely, yeah, I've exorcised the place.
And I've also installed this creaking floorboard in your house, so...
What is this? Is this the Chiropractor exorcist? They don't completely fix it?
No. I've put a floorboard in your house so that when the wind's just right or the moisture levels or someone's just walking around, it creaks. So if you hear any creaking in your house after this exorcism is done, it's because of the floorboard I installed, not because of anything else. It's like our clock, which is, it's just set to randomly go off and speak in tongues and everything so that we know there's no ghosts.
Yeah.
We can feel perfectly safe and happy. Bong when people die, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But be on mute otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing is going to burn.
Do you think it would? It'd be like the One Ring.
If it makes another noise and there's like a coincidental happening when it makes a noise, something's going to happen to it. I can't tolerate the thing.
That's kind of cool. Doom. 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 It has like a nice little chime.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's a creepy clock. I was just thinking, not really related to ghosts, except as flights of fancy, maybe.
Yeah.
But we did a dream guest thing, right?
Yeah.
But I was kind of wondering, forget dream guest, but still picking from like YouTubers, because why not? Who would you like to hang out with the most? Like, who seems to have their life together the most, and like would be just kind of interesting. And like, not just hang out with, like you have to be their roommate. How about that? Yeah, they're your new roommate.
Oh, roommate. Oh.
Yeah. Personally, I think I would like to be Small Ant's roommate, because then I could like borrow his butler. But
huh. Well, I mean, like some people have families, and so it would be like awkward to be the roommate being intruding on their family.
No more family. Just gone.
No, they're not the person they are.
But they still are.
That's just weird.
Yeah. Their family's there, it's just you guys never see them. It's like Thursday Next's daughter.
That's really depressing.
No, because they're still there, it's just you never see them. So it's fine. It's like, how's the wife? Oh, fine. Like they still have, like, they still act as if they spend time with them.
No. Let's get rid of this weird depressing metaphysic.
It's not depressing, you have to think in abstract, it's fine.
Huh. I don't know, really. Even with that. You would like a butler, is what you're saying.
That was more of a joke.
Okay.
No, I think, I don't know, someone with their life together, someone who's like entertaining, someone who's easygoing, doesn't get upset easily. That'd sort of be my...
Probably Soviet.
A Soviet Womble?
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like he's fairly, like, together in the head and everything, from the little bit I know about him.
Yeah.
Like Mandalore or Seth or something, they seem like fairly, you know...
I think you'd have problems with Seth.
Yeah, but... Well, is there a difference? I think they're the same person.
But didn't you say that Seth, like, was a guest voice in one of Mandalore's videos?
Yeah. He just went off meds and recorded it, and then... I don't know. Bad question. We'll just delete this whole section.
Sure. I realize I have a picture of your favorite animal.
Scooby-Doo?
No, below that.
Orcas.
Yeah.
They're not my favorite animal. I like tigers.
Not scared of... Well, you're, like, terrified of orcas.
Yeah, that doesn't make them my favorite at all.
I also have a picture of tigers, so...
Yeah, and an eagle. Oh, I don't know, like... Favorite things seem to come and go. Like...
Yeah.
It's only loyalty. I like the tigers still. I mean...
Yeah, favorite things come and go. That's why I got a divorce.
Well, that is, I think, why a lot of divorces happen. I think people are relying on, like, I don't know, what do you call it? Just, like, novelty. And then when the novelty wears off, they think, oh, the joy's gone out of this relationship.
Yeah.
But really, that's when the relationship has just begun.
Yeah.
Because then you have to, like, stick with them and, like...
Deal with their every fart, twitch, and quiver.
Yeah. I wonder... If we get sick of people, instead of, like, pushing through it, maybe we should just get rid of them. On the other hand, like, a lot of long married people seem to be quite happy with their choice.
Yeah.
But maybe we need, like, options. I don't think so, though. I think you could stick with basically anyone if you had to. Like, if we got rid of divorce laws, I think people would be mostly all right. Of course, there'd be a few cases where it'd be unpleasant, but I think, like, basically, maybe you need, like, your parents' permission or something. You could have something like that. Like, just one set of parents.
To get divorced?
Yeah.
What if your parents have passed on? Are you hooped?
Well, I don't know. I guess, like, it's still tricky. Like, a judge needs to give you permission and stuff. Or, like, but, it's just more like, you know, if you're stuck with someone, you'll just have to make it work out. Like, arranged marriages tend to do better than non-arranged marriages, for example. And I think, like, I could just, like, spin a little dial right now and be like, right, let's get married. And then we'd be like, you know, we'd figure it out and we'd be perfectly happy.
You sleep downstairs, I'll sleep upstairs, and we'll never see each other.
If that's what it took. But, like, I don't think that... I think, like, rather than soulmates, I think, like, look, if, like, most high schoolers... I don't know what the actual statistics are, but let's say most high schoolers date like 3 people during high school out of, like, I don't know, their 100 and 200 friends. Let's say they have 200 friends. Yeah. That's like 1 in 60 people is, like, good enough to date or something. Like, obviously you can just make it work with basically anyone if that's all it takes. Like, you would think you would have to search, like, through thousands or millions of people, but a typical village was like 150 people back in the day. And if that could work in the slightest, like, you had, like, 150 people to choose from the neighboring village, and that's about it. Like, most of it was arranged marriages. Like, and kings and stuff, they didn't seem all miserable. They made it work. I think, and this is another thing. It's obvious. Like, obviously it's true.
Bring back arranged marriages? Cameron for Prime Minister? Bring back arranged marriages?
No. I think...
Get rid of divorce?
No, I don't know what I'm saying. It's pretty obvious, I think, that... I think everyone thinks this, but, like, if you just put the work in, most marriages work.
Probably.
Not saying you should stick with them, because, I mean, you know, fear of missing out. There's probably a better person. You should dump the person you're with right now and get the better person instead. Just keep going until you find that perfect person.
Who says you're good enough for that better person?
Yeah, you should just be alone, always waiting for perfection, rather than content with mediocrity. Like, don't you want to achieve more and strive for greatness?
I think you should strive for greatness with what you got.
Do you just want to settle? Divorce them.
Cameron?
Everyone should divorce Cameron for Prime Minister 2020.
Again?
Yeah.
I am never going to have, like, 2-kilometer large ears, right?
Okay.
But I've got the ears I got, right?
Yeah.
So I should do the best with them that I can.
But...
So you should, like, work with what you got and be the best you can with that.
But you could have silk robes.
Yeah. Yeah, I could.
Yeah, so you shouldn't... So cast those away and begin looking for your silk robes. Don't settle for less.
But these are warmer than silk.
You could get thick silk robes.
Oh. Yeah, but I'll hold on to these until I get those silk robes because it's cold.
Wow.
Oh my, in the context of what we're saying.
He's single, ladies. And now you know why. Although you think someone like him would never be single, really.
Context, Cameron. Robes are not people.
And that's why they say you should be good at being single, basically, because that way you, it's not just about, like, having someone to tide you over.
Yeah.
You'll do.
Context, Cameron. Context. Part of the reason why I looked up...
If you could pick up line. You'll do. For now.
You'll do. For now.
No, just like, you'll do. Just like slightly try to add a bit of disappointment into your voice.
You'll do.
No. Not even a resigned sigh. Just like a practical, like...
Well, yes. Right. You'll do.
You'll do. No. Not like that either.
Yeah, it's just... You'll do.
You'll do.
Yep.
I mean, that's what a lot of people do anyway, so... I mean, not with, like, serious relationships, but just, like one-off relationships. And...
Your hair looks nice. You'll do.
I don't know.
One last thought. Closing thought. Alright? Children can't play in a glass garden. Now, I feel like that means a little bit to you. And me. It's like the ornament in the rose bushes, and you throw a shoe, and it hits the ornament and breaks it, and... It's like, the glass garden's pretty, but it's not that fun to play in. I think I'd rather have a fun place to play in than a pretty place.
I think the thing that makes a lot of places fun is the potential within them. Yeah. Like a Japanese temple, super tended to. It'd be so fun to run across those rocky paths and hop from like thing to thing and splash around in their ponds and chase the fish. Yeah. But you can't, because it has to be all perfect in its place.
That might be why Minecraft's such a good game.
Yeah. But then like they stick you in adventure mode, and it's like Skyrim houses that you can't touch stuff.
Yeah.
It ruins the exploration.
Mm-hmm. I like mods where you can steal all the cheese rolls and they're not just table decor.
Which is why I like Breath of the Wild so much, because it's freedom. You can actually run around and do what you want. Whereas a lot of games are like, here's my carpet. It's a very nice carpet, and it has a very nice painting at the end. But that's it. Mm-hmm. Like in Animal Crossing, there's a museum. And that sounds like the epitome of boring to me. It's like, I don't care how good your 3D model is. I'm not going to a museum in a video game.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to a museum in real life unless I can, like, handle everything, basically.
Yeah.
So, like, in a video game? No. Like, if I went, like, the British Museum. Mm-hmm. I'll go to that one because it's, like, the best museum in the world, or one of the best.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think there's a game that has enough beauty to, like...
Yeah. Well, it's like the Colosseum, right? Like, I'd love to run up and down the staircase of the Colosseum.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to.
Yeah. And just looking at it, you're like,
In Mexico, that one place where they have all the pyramids and you can climb up them because they're made out of freaking blocks of stone.
Yeah.
And so, like, we're rebuilding it, and you can just crawl all over this thing if you want to.
Yeah.
Those are, like, some of my favorite places.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, these are cool. Or just, like, old rocky ruins that you can, like, hop around on and climb. That's a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.